What's going on? What's going on? Thank you for coming to another Friday Break Nick. How are you guys? How y'all doing? How are you guys doing? Y'all already know. Before I get started, I want to thank my advisor kings, advisor queens, advisor honeys, and my advisor princesses. Please, y'all share me out. Y'all already know what to do. Those that's been listening from the bushes, the basement, and all that other shit. Y'all already know. Y'all already know a girl is hurting for her numbers and shit. I don't know. People are like, you know, uh, uh, withdrawn from my channel or taking their subscription, whatever back. I don't know, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just gonna keep on going with my shit. I can't do nothing else. I can't do nothing else. You know what I mean? Um, and I guess it's because I don't be on these YouTube streets like I used to. At one time I used to be on. I used to be on a lot and stuff. But hey, I basically, I be in my studio doing my music and shit because I already know what's out here. Really, especially the area that I come from. Anyway, over here in this goddamn garbage can. You know what I mean? Yeah, because ain't nobody trying to advance with their channel or anything. People are still messy. Bitches is still being bitches. Niggas is still begging, and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. It's a lot of it's a lot of these YouTubers. A lot of these so-called content creators. It's a lot of these content creators just trying to get my thing right. A lot of these content creators and stuff, you know what I mean? They just thirsty. They up here thirsty. They just looking for someone up on his YouTube. You know what I mean? The same motherfuckers that I heard about 2-3 years ago, they still doing the same shit with their damn channel. They saying they sleeping with this person, sleeping with that person. Y'all better realize that this is just YouTube. All that shit ain't even real. These people are talking behind the scenes and shit, coming up with some fake tissue shit. I remember I told y'all before, y'all can't believe everything y'all hear on these social media, and you can't believe everything you hear on these YouTube and shit. Because motherfuckers is just trying to get their channel up and running and shit like that. They don't give a fuck. They don't care if they look stupid or whatever. You know what I mean? And a couple of live streams, I just happen to go into, and they talking about the same damn shit. They talking about this person sleeping with this person, this person. Y'all better stop believing that bullshit. Y'all better stop believing that bullshit. They only doing that shit just to get their goddamn numbers up and shit like that. Cause half of these motherfuckers don't work. They don't want to work, and they don't even know the meaning of working. And that goes for the guys and the girls. Some of these damn females and shit like that, they sitting in the house with a house full of fucking babies or in the projects or something like that and ain't doing shit. Or they fat is all outdoors and they gotta stay behind the scenes and shit because the only thing they can do is come up on YouTube and try to make friends behind the scenes. A lot of these motherfuckers ain't nothing but avatar gangsters. Y'all already know. If y'all listened to my music before, that's what all of them are. Ain't nothing but avatar gangsters. They gangsters behind the keyboard. But that's where they're safe at. I'm saying, God damn, I can't learn shit. I can't learn a motherfucking thing. But I do say, shout out to Duke for one of those things that he put up today. Y'all know Duke Farrell. He's the king of these goddamn YouTube. Well, he's one of the fathers of these YouTube streets. But anyway, y'all don't know because half of you motherfuckers didn't even know who he was. But yeah, he was talking about some good shit today. I was tuning in and stuff, and they was talking about this girl named Ashley and shit. You know what I mean? I don't I don't know her. I don't know her, but y'all already know I'm an OG down these damn YouTube streets, and I know bitches are desperate. And I said that bitches is desperate, always trying to get their goddamn channel up. She sound like one of them lonely bitches that's in the projects, probably ain't got a man, probably ain't got no job or anything like that. And the only thing she could do is make pages after pages and stuff like that, trying to stay relevant in these damn YouTube streets. So she got to come up with all these damn fake stories and shit like that. Why can't motherfuckers be real? You know what I mean? Why can't they be real? But I get it. I get it. It's YouTube. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers come up here and they can be whatever they want. That bitch can be, oh, I'm the Queen of England, and motherfuckers believe it. You know what I mean? Because that's just how these YouTube streets work. That's how any type of social media work. All that shit is nothing but, okay, I'm gonna come up with a story and I'm gonna make it so believable. Y'all gonna come, y'all gonna subscribe to my channel and y'all gonna tune in. Believe me, if the bitches is nasty inside YouTube, 9 times out of 10, they just as nasty outside of YouTube. And the men are too. And the men are too. You know what I mean? They all get together. They all get together and shit behind the scenes and shit and come up with some shit like, okay, this is what we're gonna do next. Cause I'm trying to get my channel up. So I'm gonna eat off of you, you gonna eat off of me. You know what I mean? And they doing it. They doing it. But the originals or the original OGs that's been here for a while and shit, we all still trying to struggle to get our goddamn numbers up and shit. But we already know what it's gonna take. We already know. I don't need no bitch to be like, Miss Brown, I can get your numbers back up, or Miss Brown, I don't know. Because because in order for me, I already know what it's gonna take. It's gonna take for me to go out in these YouTube streets, call a bitch out, call a nigga out, and start dragging. That's it. And everybody gonna be, oh shit, let's see what's going on, because this is nothing but a big old entertainment shit. Whatever. You know what I mean? I just get in where I fit in. And I tell everybody, get in where you fit in and shit. Get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? Cause I always say, if a motherfucker gonna like you and he real or she real, she gonna like you. But if she a fake ass bitch or he a fake ass nigga, he only up there for his financial gain, not yours. He don't give a fuck about you, your channel, your subscribers. The only thing he care about, only thing she care about is getting her numbers up and possibly going viral. They ain't no goddamn different from YouTube. I mean, from TikTok, Facebook, and all that other shit. Because everybody trying to goddamn go viral. Mm-hmm. Let's just keep it real. Everybody trying to go viral. And I think I had mentioned that. I think I mentioned that before and shit. You know what I mean? That's why I come up here. I come up here. When I can. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna hold you. I come up here when I can and hang out with y'all, because y'all still my fam. I still love y'all, and I know that y'all still support my videos and shit like that. Y'all gotta excuse me, fucking ambulance going by and shit. You know how it is when you live in a goddamn hood or on a busy street. Let's just put it like that, on a busy ass street. But anyway, yeah. So and my live streams, when I go and I go back and I look at my numbers and shit, man, please, my numbers ain't like they used to be. The people that used to come and hang out with me and shit, they don't even fucking come and hang out with me no more and shit. So I'm just up here, just kind of just hanging in there, trying to survive, trying to survive and trying to, hold my shit together and stuff. It just seemed like now the only thing that I really got going for my channel is my music. You know what I mean? And if I wasn't doing my music, my channel probably just died. Just die the fuck down and shit. Because the way this shit is now, and the way, The way these motherfuckers are now and shit, it's just too much jealousy, it's too much envy, it's too much backstabbing, it's too much going behind the scenes and creating fake this and fake that and shit just so they can get their goddamn channel. They don't give a fuck about helping nobody else, but just trying to see about getting their shit up and running. And what I don't understand is the motherfuckers that you knew that was in these goddamn YouTube streets. They didn't even have no goddamn channel. They didn't even go live. They weren't even considered no content creator. They were just subscribers. The subscribers ended up being more nastier than the content creators, because now the subscribers are going after the content creators. You know what I mean? And half of the content creators made their page. They made their page, but they don't see it. They don't see it like that. You know what I mean? I'm just telling y'all the truth. I'm just telling y'all the truth. It's just too much phony shit going on down in these YouTube streets. And in these crazy sectors and all of that shit. I mean, I listen to to this and that and shit like that, and I'm like, damn. I'm looking, I'm like, damn. I'm looking at the same motherfuckers that was on here 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Like that girl, what's her name? Mink Mob, Mink or whatever. Now, Mink been up in this motherfucking YouTube streets for a long time, but she was never in the Mo 3 sector. She didn't come from the Mo 3 sector. That bitch just packed a bag and came over here and decided to stay. Stole all the people over here from the Mo 3 sector. And yeah, that's why a lot of people now, a lot of our subscribers are now her subscribers, because she stole a lot of motherfuckers, But that's what she did. But believe me, she didn't start out like that. She didn't know anything about this until somebody must have sent her a link, or she just decided to come and just decided to stay. And that bitch is more nastier than ever. But she probably was always like that. It's a lot of motherfucking bitches on YouTube that's nasty like that. Like that girl Ashley. I don't know who she is, but when she want to expose herself to having sex with this person and having sex with that person and stuff, what is she saying about herself? She's degrading herself just for views. She's degrading herself just to get likes and stuff like that, for people to come after her and all of this shit. That's so crazy. That is so crazy, because she's only irrelevant in these YouTube streets. I'm pretty sure she's not irrelevant in her hometown. You know what I mean? Or she might just be a jump off in her neighborhood. Who knows? That bitch probably at home. And shit. Got 3 and 4 and 5 kids. And she a lonely bitch. She lonely. You know what I mean? It's a lot of lonely bitches up on YouTube. I'm just telling you. It is what it is. It's a lot of lonely bitches. It's a lot of lonely bitches up on YouTube. And believe me, that girl, what's her name? Meek Mob, she a lonely bitch. Lady Woo, she's a lonely bitch. All these motherfucking bitches. I'm just telling y'all. I'm telling you. You can tell motherfuckers that they don't got no man. They don't want no man. Because they probably can't keep no man. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you the real. I'm just telling you the real. They can't keep no motherfucking man, because they probably can't keep their dog ass off of YouTube long enough to get a man. Because they constantly arguing with somebody and shit like that. You know what I mean? And I'm surprised about Lady Woo ass, because Lady Woo ass, she came up here reading tarot cards and shit like that, telling motherfuckers futures and this and that and all that shit. Man, please, she got a taste of that nasty ass YouTube streets. And that bitch turned just as nasty as the YouTube streets. She put them motherfucking tarot cards down and picked them up in about 5 years. Because she already know. Bitch, some tarot cards ain't putting no goddamn steak and potatoes on my goddamn table. Let me get out here in these YouTube streets and be nasty. And that's how a lot of them are. That's how a lot of them are. I'm not gonna flip coat. You know what I mean? You like me, you like me. Now, if I have guests and things pop up, things pop up. But I ain't gonna be like, oh yeah, oh no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna sell my motherfucking soul down the devil. I did it once. Yes, I did. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I did. I did because when the money started rolling in and I had all them farm animals. I had the donkeys, the pigs, the animals, the snakes, all that shit up on my panel. Throwing porn up in there and all that other crazy shit. I didn't care. I was like, shit, I'm making money. I'm making money. I don't give a hell. And y'all know those kind of content creators that's making that kind of money now. They know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? They waiting on the 21st to come around and shit like that because they already know they gonna get money. They gonna get money. You know what I mean? Only thing they got to do is they got to keep their channel. They got to keep their channel relevant, and they got to come up with some stories that's gonna time motherfuckers in. We already know how it go. Y'all already know I'm an OG down these damn streets. Been here for a long time. Been here for a long time. And motherfuckers that don't know me, they'll search around these YouTube streets and motherfuckers, somebody gonna be like, oh yeah, she's OG down these motherfucking streets. You don't wanna fuck with her. She gonna tell you like it is. And if you got a problem with her, you can always come and go see her. Cause I always tell motherfuckers, you got a problem with me, you can always come see me. Always. My door is always open. Always. The only thing I just say is when you come up in here, just state whatever you're gonna state, say what you're gonna say, but you ain't cussing me out. You ain't gonna call yourself trying to, put me down and all that crazy shit. Cause it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out. It ain't. I'm flying your dog ass up out of my live stream. Bitch, nigga, you getting out of my goddamn live stream. Yeah. You flying out this motherfucker like Superman without a cape. So you already know. You already know. Yeah. Yeah. And you ain't slapping nobody goddamn five and shit like that. Bitch, you getting up out of here, church shoes, pearls. I don't give a fuck. I don't discriminate. Come up in here if you want to disrespect. You getting your ass up out of her. That's how Miss Brown roll. That's how Miss Brown roll. I didn't drop the link, y'all. Hold on. I will drop it in a minute, though. I will drop it in a minute in case anybody want to come up and shit, but I doubt if anybody come up and hang out with my dog ass. You know what I mean? So don't get in your feelings when I call y'all dog ass, because I call my own self dog ass too. I do. I call my own self dog ass. It's just a figure of speech. It's just how I talk. You know what I mean? It's just how I talk. So yeah, don't take it personal. You know what I mean? But yeah. But I miss y'all. I miss y'all and everything. I did not come in. I did not come in last Friday. Because I had other stuff I do and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because I already know, I'm like, damn, I'm sitting up here half of the time when I come in and I sit here and I talk. I be talking, but nobody come up. So I just still, I was like, okay, let me just still go in and hang out with my peoples, because I know it's some people out there that still listen to me. You know what I mean? Whether I have 2 views, 3 views, 5 views, 8 views, or whatever, I know it's people out there that listen. You know what I mean? Just like just like they listen to my music and all of that shit. They listen to my live streams too. It's just that my live streams, it's not as, I guess it's not as many people listening. but that's okay. That's all right. You know what I mean? That's okay. Um, I just, I just gotta keep on going. I just have to keep on going with my channel and stuff. And just like I tell y'all, you know what I mean? You got a live stream, or you got a channel, and you trying to get your channel up and stuff like that. Just keep on going with your shit. Just keep on going with your shit, because one day, somebody that's going to be in your live stream is going to be a promoter, that's going to be you just never know. You just never know. And somebody be like, you know what, I've been watching you for a while, and I like your channel, and I wanted to see if you could promote this for us, because we're a small company, or whatever, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? Just like if y'all remember that time when I had got some free hair. I got a free wig from this place. It was in New York City, and I think I wore the unit on my live stream. And yeah, but what happened was, it was a lesson learned, because they gave me the unit for free, and then when I showed it on my show, they didn't really know what kind of show what kind of channel I ran. And then when they actually sat back and they seen the farm animals and fighting and this and that and stuff like that, they didn't want me to represent them. So that was something that I lost. That was something that I lost. It could have led it could have led to other things, but I didn't care about that, because at the time it was like, shit, man, please. I'm getting this, I'm getting that, I'm getting this. I didn't care. And it was money wise. So I didn't care about sponsorships, and I didn't care about all that other stuff. I just cared about, hey, you know what? I'm getting super kisses. I'm getting this, I'm getting that, and super kisses, and all that other shit was like $400 or $500 alone. That wasn't even including my YouTube pay. So y'all could do the math and shit. So y'all already know it was like, but my channel was just so damn nasty. I ain't gonna hold you. It was crazy. It was crazy. But everybody was just there for one reason, for their personal gain. It was their personal gain. hmm And then when they seen that my channel was no longer, then they was on to the next. And normally that's how it is. That's how it is. When your shit fall, the fucking people that used to ride with you and shit like that, eventually they gonna leave. They gonna leave. You know what I mean? They gonna leave. Y'all already know how these YouTube streets work. And if you don't know, you're gonna find out. You gonna find out. You're gonna find out, like the rest of some of these content creators at one time had held a lot of people and shit like that, but no longer holding what they used to. Cause I mean, I've seen that myself. I've seen that myself. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hold you. I seen I've seen channels, were like big at one time, held a lot of numbers, held a lot of numbers, held people in their live streams and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, it's crazy, you know? It's crazy. But we already know. I'm just trying to make sure that my audio is good, because I'm gonna drop the link, because I didn't drop the link yet. So that's why I've been I'm looking at my audio, and I see sometimes my audio be going in and out. I apologize for that. That's only I'm gonna try to figure out We drop this link and stuff. Hopefully the link won't be acting all crazy and shit. Y'all already know how it go. Y'all already know how it go. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the link now, y'all. I'm gonna try to drop it now. So I'm gonna copy it. Um let's see. Let's see if it work, y'all. We gonna see if it work, cause yeah, let's see. Let's say okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So now the StreamYard link is now dropped. And I apologize, y'all. If y'all see, yeah, I just put it there as well too. Just in case. But yeah, wait a minute, hold up, y'all. Hold up. Okay. So, like I was saying, if anybody wanna, come up and hang out with your girl, cause y'all already know I'm only in here. I'm only in here for a teaspoon. You know what I mean? I'm only in here for a teaspoon and shit. And but I will probably play one of my songs, one of my songs, just in case motherfuckers probably ain't tune in to some of my shit. You know what I mean? Um, because somebody had told me, they said, well, Miss Brown, why don't you play some of your music on your live? And then that way, people that probably ain't really recognized, maybe they could go and they could, check some of your stuff out. Because y'all already know, I got over, what, 500 songs on my YouTube and shit like that. So I probably will play, just one little song, the shorts. Y'all already know them shorts. That's where the money at, because people got short, attention spans. They don't want to hear all that long drawn out shit. They want to hear, straight to the point, or straight music, whatever. You know what I mean? Something short, sweet, cute, fire. That's it. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? And a lot of the stuff that I put up, on my shorts, they're just kind of like bam, 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 bam. So I know that, if there's people listening from the basement, the this, the that, da da da, just keep in mind those are shorts. So when I do my shorts, that's just something I throw on my shorts. I do have the whole full song, but I'm not going to put it on YouTube. I'm not going to put it on there because I already know that it's just a long, drawn out, you know what I mean? So, shorts are what's paying now. Shorts are what's paying now. All that other shit, then, people don't want to listen. They just want to listen to something short, sweet, and good. You know what I mean? And that's what gets people coming back. That's what people keep listening to over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Because I do monitor, songs and stuff. And a lot of times y'all already know me. I be like, I don't give a fuck. It sounds good to me. Let's just put it up. And I'll post it, but it'll be studio time. See, sometimes when I be clowning and shit, I be like, okay, this sound good. Okay, I'm gonna put it up just to see how it flies. You know what I mean? Just like that other thing. I don't even. It's no name for it. To be honest with you, I ain't even gonna hold you. I say fuck it. Sounds good and shit like that. I'm gonna put it up and stuff. So y'all already know, but I am going to play it. It's a free background track. It's a free background track. So I'm gonna play it a little bit, with intermission. And for those that didn't hear it, that might be like, oh, okay, let me just listen what she got. Mm-hmm. I just play it. I play it during, intermission and stuff. And I just want to say, I just want to say this. I am not, and I'm gonna repeat this because I know it's probably gonna be some bitches out there talking about, oh, she's just jealous of my channel because I got more people than her. Because my channel, don't believe them bitches that be sitting there saying because they got this, they got that. They got that because they nasty. They got that because they desperate. They got that because they're thirsty for attention because they want friends. You know, I don't need no motherfucking friends. I can run this show by myself. You know what I mean? If you like me, you like me. If you don't, then what the fuck is your ass doing up over her? You know what I mean? That's just how I am. You know what I mean? That's just how I am. But I would never even when I had a lot of people viewing my channel and I was going at it with all these other things going in these streets and stuff because they used to come at me. Oh my God. I ain't never say, oh bitch, oh nigga, my channel was popping. You just mad because my numbers are higher than yours. Man, who gives a fuck? I give two shits about your numbers. I give two shits about your views. I give two shits about your thumbs up. Who cares? Who cares? This is YouTube. This is fun. That's it. You might be taking home a little bit of money, but best believe, sweetie, nigga, you have that shit up in your you have all that shit up in your live stream. YouTube ain't paying you. YouTube ain't paying you like that. I don't give a fuck if you got 1,000 people in your live stream. If you got 1,000 people in your live stream and they being messy and dirty and cussing and all that other shit, you might get a few dollars for that motherfucking video, but you ain't getting full monetization. You're gonna get the premiums. And 9 times out of 10, you might get $6. You might be up there for 8 hours and only made $8 or $9 because you had all that shit going on in your life. You had all that cussing, you had all that porn, you had all of this, you had girls taking off their tops, you had all that. Man, please. You should be like, you know what? Okay, you could keep it up, but we ain't paying you for it. Mm-mm. I think half of these damn channels now, to be honest with you, half of these motherfucking channels now on YouTube are surviving off of Cash App, Super Kisses, um, Super Chats, um, some of those other, virals and Venom and all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The ones that you could actually link to your YouTube and you would get money. But YouTube itself, nah, 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 nah. You just getting paid for the premiums and shit like that. But if no motherfucking subscribers, if they're not giving you money, they're not giving you money, then you just kind of up there looking crazy. And you up there for 8, 9 hours and shit like that. And you only making like about $20, $30 and shit. That's only because your channel's garbage. Yeah. You represent your channel. If you garbage, your channel's going to be garbage. You know what I mean? And ain't nobody gonna be able to learn a motherfucking thing from you at all. I'm just telling you. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you the truth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. um, and like I said, I could sit up here and and I could talk and talk and talk and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's probably like, people are listening to me. I already know they are. I know they're listening to me because when I get off of here, you know, I may not have a lot of people, you know, but I guarantee you I have more than 10 motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I have more than 10, you know. Mm. And then as the night goes on or whatever the days goes on, people will pick up my numbers, or I mean, my views start going up because people will start viewing my video. You know what I mean? And I like that because I'm pretty sure the same people that listen to my music, they probably view my live streams as well. You know what I mean? I'm you know I'm just I'm just keeping it real with you. You know what I mean? And I'm just a real person. I I've always said that, you like me, you like me. You know what I mean? You like me, you like me. You know, I'm not I'm not gonna sugarcoat whatever I hear down these goddamn YouTube streets, or whatever I see. I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you about it. You know what I mean? And when I hear about what I basically hear about the same damn thing, and then I hear about these girls on here degrading themselves, pulling up these fake stories and saying that they sleeping with this man, and they flew out to be with that man, and they doing this and doing that. Bitch, you ain't got no goddamn respect for yourself. You that damn desperate that you gotta go in these YouTube streets, and you gotta degrade yourself by staying relevant in these YouTube streets, by letting motherfuckers think that you just a jump off, you just a whore down these damn YouTube streets. And it's a lot of damn whores down these YouTube streets. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. You know, me, she's a whore. Lady Wu, she's a whore. Ashley, she's a whore. All these motherfuckers are whores. All of them. All of them. But they the desperate ass whores, bitches, though. That's what it is. These motherfuckers, I'm going to tell you, those are the type of bitches that, they trying to do everything to get their goddamn channel up. They trying to do that. Even if it means to degrade themselves. You can't learn shit from none of those goddamn channels. Bitches ain't even gonna show you how to sew, if they could sing, if they could put shit together. You ain't gonna know that, because they don't know how to do that shit. And since Lady Wu took down the motherfucking tarot cards, that bitch ain't did shit but just be nasty down these goddamn YouTube streets. And she been here for a long time. She been here for a long time. I think she came from Room Shaker shit. Room Shaker let all the motherfucking hell minions out of that goddamn gate of hell that she was running up over there. And Lady Wu was one of the motherfucking hell minions that's now running around these motherfucking YouTube streets terrorizing shit. I'm just telling you the truth. And Mink Mob, I don't know. I don't know where the fuck she came from. Oh yes, I do. I think she came from that bitch Cream. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she came from that bitch Cream and shit. But I don't even think Cream is doing no YouTube anymore. That bitch probably what, 90 years old? That bitch probably somewhere in the fucking nursing home somewhere. But yeah. But anyhow, I'm just, listen, y'all already know I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, but that's where that bitch came from. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she did come from there. I think, or she might have came from. She might have, no. I don't think she came from MHV, and I don't think she came from Ratchet either, or Skull and shit. Them some other old motherfuckers that's been floating around these goddamn YouTube streets. You know what I mean? They've been here and shit. You have to carry them motherfuckers out in the stretcher, because they ain't going no goddamn where. Bitch probably ain't never had a job. Since they came the first day, they probably touched down on YouTube and did live streams. They ain't never had a job ever. Never did an income tax ever. You know what I mean? Because half of the goddamn audience, as soon as they started building that shit up, you know what I mean? It's real fucked up, because at one time, I'm going to tell y'all, In case motherfuckers didn't know, Ratchet and Skull used to be best friends, buddies. They used to run live streams together, like Frit and Frat, sitting there next to each other and shit like that. But then y'all already know how these YouTube streets are. Y'all already know. One person got jealous of another motherfucking channel and shit like that. And they decided to branch out and start some other shit. You know what I mean? Hmm. And they never been friends no more after that. They never been friends no more after that. Then motherfuckers they started putting up live streams against each other. They started putting up live streams against each other and shit. But y'all already know. Y'all already know, that dude, what's his name? MHB and shit. Now that motherfucker is old as a bitch too. That bitch is. Y'all already know MHB used to wear lace front wigs and shit back in the days. For those that didn't know, I'm gonna tell y'all, he used to wear that lace front wig, and that bitch used to have that shit laid too. But that ponytail used to hit the floor though. I'm gonna tell you, he used to have that shit in a fucking lace wig and shit and straight. And that bitch wore it was bone straight. I was like, where the fuck you get that goddamn long ass wig from? That bitch used to hit the floor. He had that shit braided, and yeah, But y'all didn't know that. Y'all didn't know that because y'all didn't have y'all wasn't around then. Hmm. Only the OGs would know. Only the OGs would know. And believe me, he stayed in his lane. He didn't come. He didn't come on this. He didn't. He never came on the Mo3 side of the sector because it wasn't called Mo3 back then. I'm just keeping it real. It wasn't even called the Mo3 sector then. Mm-mm. It was just called, hey, let's go to the live stream. Who's on there? Grown folks. And y'all already know. The OGs know exactly what I'm talking about. Old folks. Grown folks or whatever that was. That was Timbo Slice. Let's just keep it that way. You know what I mean? He had all that shit locked down. He had the whole fucking shit locked down. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. And for them, for the people that know exactly what I'm talking about, I'm talking some real shit. I'm talking some real shit. MHB never came on this side of the tracks. We never heard of Meek Mob. We never heard of Queen 88. We never heard of Lady Boo. We never heard of all that other shit. We never heard of that shit. We never even heard of that because they were never around. They never even probably thought about coming up on YouTube because that was back then. Now shit is totally different. Shit done changed. Shit is just crazy now. It is. And even though I don't come up on YouTube like I used to, but a lot of times I still surf and just kind of see who's live. See if anybody that I know that's live. And a lot of motherfuckers don't even be live. Not a lot of them. Not a lot of them. Only ones I see that was live was Duke Farrell and Erica Kelly. Those are the ones that I see. All the other ones that used to be live, like all the time, I don't see them live anymore. Maybe because I don't get the notifications. Maybe I don't get the notifications, so I don't know. But I see that it's a lot of channels that now since done died the fuck down. They done died down because there's houses being built every day. And because there's houses being built, there's going to be some people that's going to be more nastier, conniving, and desperate and thirsty. You know what I mean? And those are motherfuckers that came into your chat, said hi to you, probably gave you a super kiss or a cash app or something like that. So you gotta watch them motherfuckers that give you cash app because they're not really there for you. They're just there just to win you over so they can eventually try to fuck you up and take all your goddamn subscribers. hmm And 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. They'll take all your motherfucking subscribers and go make a page themselves. Now all your subscribers are now their subscribers because they don't unsubscribe to you and then went over to them. That's usually how it works. You know what I mean? That's usually how it works. But anyway, I dropped the link. I was hoping that somebody wanted to come up and hang out with you, girl. But I'm going to play one of my songs just for intermission, and I will be right back. Pour me another glass of wine. Talking all that fucking shit like I'm a whack, chick, whack, there. I'm trying to hear nothing you got to say. I'm trying to have it my way. I'm here to have a good time tonight. I'm getting my shit on shit. Feeling all right, got the buzz, and the slug, and the gloves up. Feeling real good. Yeah. Let's hear it again, yeah. Just know fucking shit like I'm a whack, chick, whack, there. I'm trying to hear you got to say. I'm trying to have it my way. I'm here to have a good time tonight. I'm getting my shit on shit. Feeling all right, got the buzz, and the slug, and the gloves up. Feeling real good. Yeah. All right, y'all. But here's another one I'm gonna play real quick for y'all. And this is just in case, for those that that's not familiar with my music, let's go toot it up. Y'all ready to toot it up? Let's go. Hey, looking all good tonight. I need all ladies to the dance floor. Come on down. Let's make some noise. Come on now. Move to the left. Now move it to the right. We came here to party tonight. We gonna toot it up. Now toot it up. We gonna toot it up. Alright. Now move your hips from side to side. Arch that back like a saddle ride. Come on, ladies, don't be shy. We came here to have a good time. We gonna toot it up. Hey! Now toot it up. Gonna toot it up. Tonight. Hey! Toot it up. We gonna toot it up. Toot it up. Purchase this tracks.com. Hey! Ladies looking fly tonight. Ask your partner if they wanna ride. We gonna tune it up. Tune it up. We gonna tune it up. Alright. Now grab your partner and tune it up high. Don't be scared to give it a try. We gonna tune it up. things like you do and look like we gonna toot it up, it up. We gonna toot it up all night. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Y'all already know. I just was giving y'all a little tidbit of some of my music because a lot of people like, Miss Brown, you don't, maybe you should start playing some of your music so that way people could kind of go back and listen, and get an idea on, what you be doing and stuff. You know what I mean? So, that, toot it up, y'all already know. That's more of a, get out of your seat and just kind of, you know what I mean? Um, and dance and stuff. You know what I mean? Um, but y'all already know. I've already said, and I'll say it again. You know what I mean? I could put some stuff together, but I'm not a professional rapper. I feel like I do have some potential to be an okay singer and a little bit of rapping. You know what I mean? And it's a learning process, and I'm just kind of building up my skills every day. Just trying to be up there with with some of the people that that I listen to and stuff like that. But a lot of times too, most of my stuff is coming from the studio time. When I do my studio time, that's what I do. You know what I mean? But yeah. So it's just I'm a songwriter. I'm a songwriter. And I know I could be a great ghost writer. You know what I mean? For people that can't really write songs, but they may be able to rap, but they can't write. That's where you could probably ask me, and I'm not going to charge you or anything like that because I believe, like I said, plants can't grow. So if it's something that I can help somebody with, hey, you know what I mean? Just reach out, and I'll be happy to write. I'll be happy to write a song or freestyle or something like that. You know what I mean? Because I believe that this is what it's gonna take. It's a lot of people, on YouTube that's just out for themselves. It's a lot of people that's just kind of like, what, it's all about me, 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 me. Okay, it can be all about you, but if somebody come to you and say, hey, can you help me out with this? Help me out. You don't charge a motherfucker. Bitch, you struggling like that. You struggling like us. You know why? You ain't gonna see. That's the thing. You ain't gonna see none of these motherfuckers that's gonna that's gonna be in public. That somebody's gonna recognize them and be like, "Oh, I remember you. You're this. You're that. Can I get your autograph? Can I say?" You ain't gonna see nothing like that because this here on this side of the tracks, it ain't nothing but a cesspool, nasty ass garbage can. And I think I told y'all that. Hmm. But it is a lot of talent up on YouTube too. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I mean? It's a lot of motherfuckers up out here that know how to sing, that know how to rap, that know how to do this, that know how to do that. But you ain't never gonna see that because they're not gonna allow you to see that because that's not what their channel is all about. They know that their channel is making money and they're not gonna change over because they're not gonna lose that money. You know what I mean? It's this thing here with the social media all over TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that shit. They're not gonna change. They're not gonna change because they know what's bringing in money. They're not gonna change that money. You know what I mean? So if they gotta degrade themselves, if they gotta act stupid, if they gotta look crazy and all of that, that's what they're gonna do. That's what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? And that's just how the social media shit work. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah. But I was hoping that somebody wanted to come up and hang out with your girl. But I guess everybody doing their own thing, or They just don't want to come up anymore. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna play us some music to take us up out of her. So y'all just hold on, okay? I'll be right back.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You got to be what you want to be. People like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. Will that make you good? You're not good. You just know how to hide or lie. Me, I don't have that problem. Me, I always tell the truth, even when I lie. So say good night to the bad guy.
Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you need to stop, boy. Yo, Jay, you, boy.
The last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
All right, everybody. All right, that is the end of our show. I want to thank my advisor kings, advisor queens, advisor honeys, and my advisor princess. I apologize for my little sound to be going in and out. I don't know what the heck was going on with it. But yeah, sometimes, interference happens or whatever, but y'all already know we got to keep on going with the show. We got to keep on going with the show. So please, please, please share my video. And like I said, when I was talking about different people and stuff, I was just talking about what I see down these YouTube streets. I was just talking about, the channels and stuff like that, and how, it's just the same. It's just the same, and they just making up all this fake shit just to stay relevant in these YouTube streets. You know what I mean? Desperate ass bitches, desperate ass niggas, just to try to stay relevant in these YouTube streets to get y'all coming back. You know what I mean? Because technically, it's the subscribers that's taking care of the content creators, because the content creators can't come up with their own shit. They can't be original. They can't come up with some good shit that would be like take their channel to the next level. They're gonna be stuck right where they are. They're gonna be stuck doing the same thing that they're doing and getting the same results. That's just how these YouTube streets work. That's what the channels I see anyway. I can't learn shit from none of those goddamn channels that I talked about earlier. I can't. They're not gonna show me how to cook this and how to put that together. Mink and shit. She ain't gonna show motherfuckers how to do lashes and all that shit. And that bitch started off with lashes and all that shit. You ain't gonna see them lashes. You ain't gonna see how to put this together. You ain't gonna see no makeup tutorial. Not from that dog bitch. I'm just keeping it real. Same thing as Lady Wu. You ain't gonna see that motherfucker do no goddamn future telling and all that kind of shit like that, because she put them motherfucking cards down a long time ago. That bitch is just as nasty as Mink Mob and all the rest of these garbage can bitches. Ashley and all that shit. That bitch out here fucking like two broken stoves, and she trying to get her goddamn live, and she trying to get as many motherfuckers as she can up on YouTube to be her friend. You know what I mean? But they'll probably befriend her and shit like that. But in the meantime, they're gonna see what they can get out of her motherfucking channel. Like they do. It's a lot of blood sucking motherfuckers up on YouTube. They will suck whatever they're gonna suck out of your channel. As soon as that shit is dry, they on to the next. Y'all already know your girl is gonna keep it real. So until next time, I love y'all. I love y'all. Y'all keep your notifications on, because you never know when a bitch might be back. I love y'all. All right. Bye.